the bats blue. It's blue heavens. Bob Mason will be starting for the Capitals, playing in his 13th game with a 3.42 goals against average. Clint Malarchuk will start in goal for the Buffalo Sabres, playing in his 15th game with a 3.57 goals against average. The officials tonight: Mark Fossett is the referee. Wing Bonnie, Ron Finn of the linesman. John Tucker starts on the right wing. They'll open this first period, and the puck comes back into the Washington zone, where it's taken by Hatcher. And his pass to Courtnall. He left it there. They covered by Dale Hunter. Steps it over the blue line. Back ends it wide. The Buffalo net. Here's Tucker. Sends it right out in front. Here's a chance for the Capitals with the backhand pass in front. And Tucker is stopped by Malarchuk. John Tucker, in his first shift, almost scored his first goal against his former teammates. But Malarchuk was right there to make the save.
Well, there you look at Tuck and his two line mates. Courtnall right there with the puck, hammers it down low, and Tucker's there to pick it up for his opportunity. Here's at center with this line, and believe me, they'd love to see Tucker have a big night here at the auditorium, the first time back to play against his old teammates.
Face off of the Buffalo zone. Housley bumped into the boards by Courtnall. Now Dale Hunter's there. Housley feeds it to Vine. Vine now sends it over to Bonner at center with the long drive. It's gloved there by Mason. He got it caught in his glove. He couldn't drop it out of his glove. He said, "What's going on here?"
Well, got caught. Well, Bob Mason, the starting goaltender tonight for Washington. His career with the Washington Capitals reads like this: 34 wins, 26 losses, and 6 ties. And he has accumulated a 3.23 goals against average over those games with the Washington Capitals. A lot on that shot, and that's why it stuck right in the glove. Here's the drive from way out. You can see he goes out, makes a very simple save. Just went over and flicked the wrist, caught it, but it can't get out of the webbing.
With the face-off in the Capital zone, Mike Foligno unable to play tonight. He really down with the flu, and head coach Rick Dudley felt he needed a few more practice sessions before getting back into the lineup, which could be on Tuesday night in Philadelphia against the Flyers. Now the puck inside the Washington. Here's Snuggerud. Snuggerud trying to get in, gets it in front, but it went behind Arneal. Now Ramsey trying to keep it in. He clears it through to Snuggerud with the quick shot. Mason makes the save. Taken by Johansson, formerly of the Buffalo Sabres. And he'll bring it back now for the Capitals at center. Works it in off the corner boards into the Buffalo zone. It was cleared. It's kept in now for Ridley, and he is hit and knocked down. Loose puck. It'll go to the side of the net. Malarchuk tried to play it. Plays it around the boards. Coming in on the play, Johansson. Now still kept in. Mike Ridley with it for the Capitals. Sends it back to the line to Miller. Long shot. And Krupp steps in front of it. And here he comes at center. Cuts to the right side. In over the Washington blue line. Waiting for some help. Gets it off the boards into the side of the net. Johansson will go after it. Now the pass comes to Ridley. He'll come to center. Gets in over the Buffalo from left. It for Cicerelli. Big shot. Malarchuk makes the save, and the rebound kicked away to the boards. And recovered there by Priestley. He skates to center. Now shoots it on into the Washington zone. Both teams have had 2 shots on goal. Ralph puts it into the corner. Breaks back with it, Pavonka. His pass over the line. They break back. Holder in over the line. He tried to clear it in front of the net now, but Malarchuk will clear it around the glass. And there's John Druce. 4 of them after it. Pavonka's there along with McSween. Now it's tipped back in behind the Buffalo. Malarchuk will scoop it up on the right side to Shepard. He will clear it, and it's gloved back in. Now Shepard. Gloved down at center by Pavonka. Now recovered by Andrechuk. He'll clear it back into the Washington zone. Shepard trying to go after it. It's gloved down now by Mike Richard. Called up from Baltimore Skipjacks of the American Hockey League. They'll go to the corner. Dean Kennedy's there. Now comes to the side of the net. Up it comes to Turgeon. Can't clear it. Here's Bruce with the pass now to Pavonka. Here's another drive. And Malarchuk got the left pass on that one to stop John Druce. Now McSween will come away with it for Buffalo. Steps to center. Decides to just drive that one off the leg of Kevin Hatcher into the Washington zone. Buffalo makes the change. Parker steps on to the McGuire. And Hartman. They've got this line back together. Now Russ. Clearing it to the far boards. Taken by Housley. He cleared it to McGuire. Slapped it off the boards back into the Capital zone. Mason around to the cup waiting for his Botcher. There's the shot. It's blocked. Comes to the line. Hartman's there. Parker. Now May. Flipped it back to the Buffalo blue line. Housley is there. After it, Parker now. Recovered by but Dwyer steps in over the line, and he is stopped. Weinendorf is there. Hartman comes up with it. Here's Hartman. Lets a quick shot go. It went behind the net. Back now to Bodger. Works it back into behind the Washington net. McGuire looks out to get to it on the far side. Here it comes to Housley. Housley lets the pass go. Just he tried to feed it to the side of the Washington net for a deflection. Now Bodger trying to keep it in. Here's Parker. The puck will come to center to Housley. Takes it away. And he is held from behind by Nick Kuipro. Kuiprios, they should say. Not Weinendorf. Here's Mogilny. Mogilny's pass. Mogilny with a lost it and escape. It's recovered, and Hunter with the long pass on the left side. Portno. He is stopped along the boards by Krupp now. 5 goes in after it. Now coming back with it is Krupp. Gives it to Ruutu into the Washington zone. Ruutu sends it wide to the Washington net. Mason will play it off the boards. Now Ruutu is there. 5 works it back in. Now they'll come back and into the Buffalo zone. Hunter trying to get to it along with 5. They will go to the corner board. Ramsey works it to the far side, but it's cut off by Kent Taitner. Now 5. Slipping it off the glass. Ruutu racing after it. He'll pick it up. Brings it in over the line. The pass in front for McGeown. It went off. Escape in front of the Washington net. Now again it's cleared high into the air. It'll bounce back into the Buffalo zone. McSween goes back after it. Now Kennedy. Here's the pass. Snuggerud giving it to Arneal into the Capital zone, but it's recovered there now by Kalle Johansson. And his pass. Here's Cicerelli's got that big shot, but McSween got over there to deflect it at the last moment. Snuggerud with the pass to Arneal into the Washington zone. Back now to Priestley in front. The drive, and Mason stopped Snuggerud. Snuggerud had a great opportunity there, but he stopped him. Go score.
This is an extremely nice three-way passing play. There's the first one. Kenny Priestley, a heads-up play, finds Snuggerud on the far side. He really didn't get good wood in the puck, just caught the end of his heel. But more than anything else here, you can see the terrific playmaking of centerman Ken Priestley looking over, seeing his man was free before he even got the pass. Once it got there, he knew where it was going immediately.
Now Priestley winning the draw. McSween with a shot, and Mason got his stick on that one. Now Cicerelli knocked it ahead. It was intended there for Kelly, but it goes into the Buffalo zone of Malarchuk. He will play it off the board, giving it to Arneal. Cleared it. Not out. Just inside the line. Again, it comes back over the line. Reaching back after this McSween. Moves it off the glass, back into the Washington zone. Kicked out by Snuggerud. He missed it. And again, Capitals come back. Ridley in over the line. Stopping. Here's a pass to the far side. The drive, and Kennedy got down in front of it. A loose puck in front of the net. Now backhand drive. Another save. A loose puck. There it is. And a good play by Priestley. It got good and cleared it back into the Capital zone.
Well, here's the opportunity for Washington, and the goaltender Malarchuk really gets turned around. Eventually, he'll have it right there. It's back to the plate, but a Washington player cannot pick the puck up at that point and get a shot free. Cicerelli is an offensive threat, a big offensive threat for the Buffalo Sabres, and he's been free every shift on this ice so far in this game. It could be a long night for Buffalo if they don't check him better.
Face off the Buffalo zone. Housley will come up with it around now for Turgeon, but he is stopped. Left point, long drive. It's blocked. The puck will come to center. And again, it's cleared back into the Buffalo zone. Shepard, Turgeon, and Andrichuk, a forward line for Buffalo. Those score first period. 13:20 to go. Up it comes to the line, taken by Andrichuk. And he sends it off the glass, back into the Washington zone. Mason around the boards. Bruce is there. Bodger with a long shot, and Mason just spotted that one at the last moment to deflect it over the glass and into the crowd here at Memorial Auditorium. 5 shots for the Buffalo Sabres, 4 for the Washington Capitals. Speaking of Cicerelli, Mike, in the last 22 games, Cicerelli has picked up 16 goals, 11 assists for 27 points, and he needs 7 assists for 350 assists.
He's been a great hockey player. Teddy picked up his 700th point, I think, the last game or the second last game, and he's leading this team, this Washington team, in goals, leading them in points. Very, very valuable player. He's a quick little guy, and I mean little. He's not very big. He's tough. He'll hang in there. He'll go in the corners and work it out, but he's really tough to get a hold of to try to contain because of his quickness.
Last time these two teams met here at Memorial Auditorium, it was Buffalo defeating the Capitals by a 4-3 score. Beaupre was in goal for the Capitals, and it was Pupa for the Buffalo Sabres. Now the Capitals start to come back, but the pass was too far. Barker again clears it back into the Capital zone. Rush to the far side, taken by Housley. Now recovered by Shepard. He'll clear it off the glass, back into the Capital zone. Mason will leave it there. Bob Mason, 28 years old. Now it's broken up. Here's Turgeon. Turgeon getting it on goal. He shoots to save. Turgeon with it again. And he tried to get in front. There's going to be a penalty coming to the Capitals. Turgeon had gone in, but Michael appeared as though he'd gone in a little too close on Mason to get that shot away. And Buffalo will go to the power play.
Let me point out a terrific play to you. And right here, the poke check, but Turgeon doesn't score. But watch after the save is made. Instead of panicking, saying, "Oh, I've got to try again," watch what he does. He goes for the pass. Both guys would have taken that puck, taken 2 strides right into the slot area and went for the net again. Instead, he very calmly just held onto it. He is in a bad position. Defenseman right in front of him. He just waited for Housley to step into the pocket.
Holder has gone to the penalty box for interference, and the Buffalo goes to the power play. And the Sabres are 8th in the power play department of the NHL. And the Washington Capitals are 5th in killing penalties. Bill Housley, in the last 6 games, Mikey has 4 goals, 4 assists for 8 points.
Capitals' record against Adams Division teams is 500, 4 wins and 4 losses. That's how it stands coming into this game. And there's their new head coach, Terry Murray, the brother of Brian Murray, the younger brother.
And Terry is coach and general manager of Baltimore. A year and a half. Here's a loose puck. It'll go to the far side. And it's cleared now. Back to the center ice area. Where it's recovered by Kelly Miller. He'll clear it back into the Buffalo zone. Sabres on the power play for 1 minute 40 seconds. Housley's quick pass to Mogilny. Now to Vive into the Washington zone. Vive trying to get in behind the net. Mogilny was there. Taken by Hatcher. Has trouble with it. Here's Rutu. He comes up with it. He'll go to the corner. Got Vive in front in the pass, but Vive unable to control the puck to get the shot away. Trying to send it back in. It's recovered and cleared now by Mike Ridley. Back into the Buffalo zone. Now the Capitals make a change. Here's the quick pass. Reaching for it with Rutu. Could not get it. Leinendorf sends it to center. It's taken and cleared now by Rob Murray. Back into the Buffalo zone with 1 minute now remaining in the Sabres power play. No score first period. Up to Andrechuk. Clears it off the glass into the Washington zone. Turgeon into the corner. And he lost it. A loose puck. Now it's taken and again sent back into the Buffalo zone. Now Malarchuk leaving it for Ramsey with 11 minutes and 14 seconds left in the first period. Still no score. Here's Andrechuk. Pushes it ahead to Turgeon. Back for Andrechuk. And Turgeon comes up with it. Now gives it to Andrechuk. And he tried to get it back to the right point, but it was intercepted by Pivonka. Now McSween slides it over to Ramsey. 20 seconds left in the Buffalo power play. Into the Capital zone. Ramsey knocked it in behind the net. Round it'll come. Andrechuk with it in the corner. It'll come back to McSween. Quickly gets it over to Turgeon. Now back to McSween. He lost it off the stick. And here's Cicerelli. Or Dale Hunter. Hunter going in and goal with the drive. And Malarchuk makes the save. And the puck sitting there. Almost a short-handed goal by the Capitals. But now Washington's back at full strength. Turgeon trying to step away from Corton. Knocked it ahead now to McGuire. It's an offside call. With 10:23 to go, there's no score. You're watching Sabres hockey at the Niagara Frontier Sports Network.
The veteran Dale Hunter is about 1 step away from scoring on this opportunity. The puck comes loose. Buffalo very soft on that last power play. And here's a chance right here. He sets it up with a good snapshot. Tries to score against his old teammate, Clint Malarchuk. Played together for many years with the Quebec Nordiques. But Buffalo's power play was just, it looked like a very lazy, contented power play. Not much hustle.
Hatcher lets the drive go. And Malarchuk gloves it now. Proof getting it up to McGuire, but he is taken to the boards on the far side by Hunter. Look at back court. They'll try to keep it in. Good pass there. Back it goes to Hunter. And they score! What a play by the Capitals. Kevin Hatcher has given the Capitals a 1-0 lead.
One thing I think the coaching staff won't stand for in this Buffalo team is if the team is not working hard. And that's the problem right now to this point. Watch this passing play. The defenseman drops right down. It's a backhand pass to big Kevin Hatcher. The defenseman moves up. He scores the goal. He just grabs this puck after the pass and fires it up high underneath the crossbar. An excellent shot from the defenseman. You wouldn't expect this from a guy like Hatcher, but he's got a nice offensive touch. There it is. He didn't have all that much room. He just drove it up right into the corner of the net.
And he gets his 6th goal of the season, his 29th point.
You can see that coming from when Buffalo had the power play on. They looked lackadaisical then, and off the face-off before this last goal was scored, it was the same thing.
Here's the announcement on the goal.
Hatcher from Tucker and Hunter. The time, 9:57.
And the face-off will come back into the Buffalo zone to the left of Malarchuk. And the Capitals have had 7 shots on goal. The Buffalo Sabres have had 6. Mike Ridley, in his last 29 games, Ridley has scored 10 goals, 20 assists for a total of 30 points.
Keep an eye on Washington tonight in this situation. They have had, this is a terrible stat here, 11 shorthanded goals scored against them.
Face off in the Buffalo zone to the left of Malarchuk. Now Kennedy steps in behind the net. He gets tied up now by Ridley. Finally moved to the back into the corner, where it's recovered by Priestley. He'll come back with Snuggerud on the right. Priestley into the Washington zone. Now Arneal tries to get to it. Here's Arneal along the boards with Miller. He'll send it behind the Washington net. Priestley was taken down. Kennedy knocked it back into Snuggerud. Here's Priestley getting to the far side. Now Arneal trying to get to it. Here's Arneal. Sends it back in. Recovered by Bob Ross. He works it and it bounces just over the blue line. Now Ramsey tips it away from Cicerelli, where it's taken by Arneal. He'll bring it back into the Washington zone. Drops it back now. Snuggerud takes the shot. Lets the drive go to it off the glove of Mason Cicerelli. Out of the far side to Holder. He'll tip it. It'll go wide of the net. Now Ramsey around for Snuggerud. Washington making a player change. Snuggerud comes to center. And he flipped it off the corner boards back into the Capital zone. Buffalo now makes a change. Johansson. Here's the pass. Gloved away. Now comes back to the Washington blue line. Now Pavanka takes over. Pass to the far side. It is cleared on to the Buffalo zone. And Malarchuk will leave it there. Now for Bodger. Around to 5, but he missed it. It'll come back to the left point. They keep it in. Now it's recovered by Richard. Now Druce in behind the net, trying to bring it out in front. He left it there. Here's the Capitals with the pass in front of it. Malarchuk makes the save and a loose puck. But no, the Capitals still keep it in. Take it by Boncher. Gets it off the glass. It'll come to Housley. Housley now. Here's the pass to McGildy in over the line. McGildy's pass back to 5, but he drags the skate on the puck. McGildy saw 5 coming in. Now Johansson. And Bodger's there to shoot it back into the Washington zone. 1-0. The Capitals lead with 7:48 left in the first period. Here's the pass. Shepard almost broke it up. Now it's cleared again back into the Washington zone. Turgeon will go in after it against Johansson. It'll come to the side of that. Weinendorf is there. He clears it again back into the Buffalo zone. Krupp will go back to touch it, and the Capitals are called for icing.
Well, here's the kid that's almost impossible to stop, McGillney, simply because of his quickness, his skating ability. He can really open things up, and he laid that puck over to Rick Vaive, cruising in on the right-hand side. Pass wasn't all that good. It was right in Vaive's skates, but still, Vaive had enough working room to kick that puck up for the scoring chance. Kicked it too hard and lost it.
Face off in the Capital zone with Turgeon. Turgeon trying to win the draw, but back in behind the Washington net, where it's taken by Hatcher. Hatcher has scored the lone goal here tonight. Well, Washington comes back into the Buffalo zone. Here's a bouncing puck, and Malarchuk makes the save there. And Rob Murray went in, took a whack at that bouncing puck, but Malarchuk made the save.
Well, defenseman Uwe Krupp really committed himself with this. Essentially was with the 2-on-1 at the point. He committed himself. There's a man free on the far side. And let's have a look at it right here. This baby's jumping up. They both go for it. If you gamble and lose, this is what happens. If you gamble and you win, the puck is free and it's shot out over the blue line and out of your end zone. But that wasn't the case with the score down 1-0 and the team not playing all that well. I think this is the time not to gamble. Play it safe until you get on track.
Well, Malarchuk has played 7 of his last 8 games on the road. The puck comes back into the Washington zone. It's cleared now, taken by Parker, and he sends it off the skate of the linesman, Ron Finn. Now Kennedy. He's bumped in there along the boards. Courtnall gets it back with a shot, but it went behind the net. Hatcher comes up with another drive, dropped by Malarchuk, and he decides to fall on it with Courtnall right there.
See John Tucker just cruising around, in around the corner of the net, a lot like Turgeon does for the Buffalo Sabres. There you look at John Tucker, and I know he has an awful lot of fans he left behind here in Buffalo, and have the opportunity to talk to John in the second period intermission if you'd join us.
John Tucker, 25 years old, number 2 draft pick for Buffalo in 1983. Last year in 60 games for Buffalo, 13 goals, 31 assists. His career high, 85-86. 75 games, Tucker had 31 goals, 34 assists for 65 points. Face off of the Buffalo zone. Now it's recovered by Shepard. He'll come back with Turgeon, the far right. Here's the pass, but then Turgeon did not expect it. It'll come to May. Almost lost it. Loose puck inside the line. Shepard tried to keep it in. Oh, May gave Shepard a shot with his left fist. It'll come back, and Bodger's there to shoot it back into the Capital zone. Danger. Here's a chance now. Here's Turgeon. Loose puck, and it was knocked away by Hatcher, and it's cleared. Bouncing puck kept inside. Here's Shepard giving it to Turgeon. Back now to Shepard. Shepard trying to go after it into the corner with Hatcher. Kicks at it. Here's Andreychuk in behind the net. Andreychuk, and then he was taken out of the play, and the Capitals clear it. Now recovered by Housley. 1-0. Caps lead. 6 minutes left in the first period. He breaks it over the line, gives it now to Turgeon, back into Housley into the corner. Housley gets side up, Turgeon will go after. Shepard was in front of the Washington net, and the puck will come to Ciccarelli. Here's the long pass, Malarchuk goes way out of the net to clear it back into the corner. Housley sends it around now. Ciccarelli, he's waiting for it. The quick pass, loose puck in front, slapped away by Housley, and Shepard just gets it to Andreychuk. He'll bring it to the line. Still has it. And there's going to be a penalty to the Capitals. Andreychuk was taken down. Here's Dean Kennedy getting it behind the net. Now going into the corner. Ramsey. He's bumped in there. Ramsey sends it in front. And they whistle the play down. And Buffalo will go to the power play.
Watch defenseman Holder here. He gives this man, Andreychuk, so much room before he finally catches up to him. And you can see what happened when he finally does. Andreychuk, by that time, is really in a very dangerous position. And he had to pull him down the ice somehow. And he did it illegally. Sabres back on the power play. Washington ranked 5th in the National Hockey League in penalty killing, and as Ted mentioned earlier, Buffalo ranked 8th in power play proficiency. Dave Andreychuk leading the way with 12 power play goals.
Face off in the Capital zone. Route 2. And they get in there, get the drop at 5, and move it in along with Kent Faitner too early. Route 2 now on the draw. It'll come to the corner. Here's Route 2 with it. A bouncing puck. 5 is there. 5 gets tied up. Mogilny, he's stick handling with it. Still has it. Now they will attempt to set it up here. Back it comes to Ramsey. Ramsey cleared it back to Swede, but it went over the blue line. Ramsey with it again. Shoots it off the glass. Back into the Washington zone. Route 2 goes after it. The play was whistled down, and that'll bring the faceoff back near the center ice area as you look at Alexander Mogilny. Mogilny in his last 16 games has picked up 6 goals, 7 assists for 13 points.
Let me just point one thing out that's happening throughout the National Hockey League. Not as many face-off players are being thrown out on the face-offs anymore, and what is happening is a lot of the centermen now are cheating to such a point, it's so obvious that you can really win draws just by cheating at this point in the season. Before, if you even got somewhat crooked on the face-off, they'd throw you out.
Housley slides it over to Bodger. And again, sends it off the boards into the Washington zone. 5 in there. Andreychuk gets it back to Housley. Quickly gets it to Bodger, but right over the blade of a stick. He sends it into the side of the Washington net. It's slapped around the boards. Housley tends to keep it in. Here's Andreychuk. Giving it now to Bodger. Bodger winds up with the drive, and Mason makes the save, and Andreychuk comes up with the rebound. 1:07 left in the Buffalo power play. Here's Bodger with it again. Bodger the quick shot, and it did not get through. Pavanka comes right back with the rebound and sends it deep into the Buffalo zone. Now 54 seconds left. Capitals lead in this game, 1-0 with 4:08 to go. Up it comes to Andrzejczyk. He'll clear it on into the Capital zone. Mason leading it there. Kleinendorf around the glass. Blocked now by Housley. He gets it into the corner. Now Turgeon. They will try to set it up. Shepard in front. Back to Turgeon. Here's the pass to Bodger. The shot scores! Doug Bodger has tied this game with a power play goal, and Mike, what a pass from Turgeon.
It really was an outstanding pass. You see him thread the needle right there between about 4 players, but I'm going to tell you something else. Please enjoy the pass, but how about the shot from Doug Bodger? He threads the needle also. He really takes this puck and just drives it from a horrible angle, didn't have all that much, and just drilled it inside the post. You can see the goaltender swung his hand on it, but just fanned on the drive, and there's a goal scored. Doug Bodger stepping in. He needs that goal. He could use a good shot in the arm. Maybe this will do it for him.
Here's the announcement of the goal.
And number 6, Phil Housley.
Housley again.
Bodger from Turgeon and Housley. The time 16-12.
This game is tied with 3:45 left to play in the first period. Now the loose puck at center. Taken by Ramsey. He'll tip it on into the Washington zone. Priestley trying to get in after Kleinendorf. Went off the glove now. Barneal. Kleinendorf will come up with it. Now the pass to Johansson. Here comes Tucker in over the line and a knock off the stick by Ramsey. Snuggerud. Heads it back, gives it to Krupp. It'll go back now to Snuggerud. He fired it off Dale Hunter, and it looked like it nailed Hunter right in the glove, in the hand.
Well, no one's going to feel bad about that. Certainly no one wearing a Buffalo Sabre uniform anyways. This young man, well, I shouldn't say a young man anymore. He's getting up there in age, but boy, he comes to play every night, and he's one tough customer.
29 years old, Dale Hunter, 5'10", 198 pounds.
You know,
he's been averaging 224 minutes a year in penalties.
And he's doing it at this age. He's not slowing down at all. Listen, Quebec can say anything they like. It's never been the same team ever since Hunter's left that team. He's never been the same.
Ramsey quickly clears it into the Washington zone. Roots who tried to get to it, but it's touched by Johansson. And the Buffalo Sabres are called for icing. 11 shots for the Capitals, 9 for Buffalo. The game is tied at 1. That'll bring the faceoff back into the left of goaltender Clint Belarchuk. As you looked at Kalle Johansson a moment ago, he was the number 1 pick for the Buffalo Sabres in 1985.
Well, you have to have 2 really sound goaltenders, and they gave up a pretty good defense on Johansson to get him, and Ledger hasn't played bad either while he's been here.
Now it comes back. Here's Hatcher with a quick shot, and Belarchuk made the save, and it's cleared now by Snuggerud, and Hatcher again at the line. Arneal is there. They'll go high into the air, glove down by Snuggerud. Snuggerud shoots it to center. Now coming back in over the line, Kelly Miller. He turns. He is checked along the boards. Priestley leaves it there for Krupp. He'll bring it in over the line. Krupp still with it. Tried to leave it for Priestley. Priestley was stopped at the line by Miller. Now the quick pass to Cicerelli. Comes it over the line. Clears it in off the corner board. Snuggerud working it up to Priestley. Cleared it to center. Now Holder. His pass, it'll come to Bob Rouse. Shoots it in off the boards into the Buffalo zone. Krupp comes up with it. The Capitals making a player change. It comes to center. Now quickly sends it in. Again now Buffalo will make a change. Hartman steps on. Parker and McGuire. The Buffalo Sabres are called for icing with 2 minutes and 10 seconds remaining. Kevin McGuire. On the draw in the Buffalo zone. It'll be taken by Bodger behind the net. Now giving it to Parker. Parker's pass up for McGuire. Clearing it off the boards into the Capital zone to Mason. He'll leave it there, but it's blocked now by Parker. Hartman unable to get to it. Now Drews. Send that one back into the Buffalo zone. Dean Kennedy will go back after it. Up it comes to McGuire, deflected onto the center ice area. Now kicked away by McSween. And here's a chance now for Drews shooting. He scores! And the Capitals have gone into a 2-1 lead. John Drews just drills that one in by Belarchuk. for his second goal of the season. Here's the opportunity. Drews lets the drive go right under the crossbar, and the Capitals go back into the lead again. Here's another chance. Look at it. Quickly gets it high and up under the crossbar. Now, wait a minute. We got Dale Hunter. It's Drews. Drews gets the goal for the Capitals with 1:36 remaining. Now Kleinendorf, that center. He'll clear it back into the Buffalo zone. Barger working it off the boards, cut off now by Tucker. Here's a pass to Corknell, and he was stopped by Housley. That allows Turgeon to bring it back now for Buffalo into the Capital zone. Turgeon with a good move. Here's a quick drive to allow the crossbar or the goalpost. Andrechuk's shot. Now comes back in. Out in front it comes again to Shepard, but Shepard couldn't get to it. Here's a long pass to Corknell. Shoot, and he scores! And the Capitals take a 3-1 lead, and just prior to that, the Sabres almost tied the game at 2. And the Sabres were caught up the ice. Here's a quick pass. There's a drive by Corknell. Beats Malarchuk, and it's a 3-1 score, Washington. Now we'll look at it again. He kicked it ahead. And there's a big drive. And the Capitals, just like that, have taken a 2-goal lead over the Buffalo Sabres. His 16th goal of the season at the 18:53 mark. Now again, cleared back into the Buffalo zone. There's Snuggerud with 1 minute remaining to play in the period. Priestley has slapped it off the glass, gets it back to center. Again, it comes back into the Buffalo zone. Ramsey. He's bumped into the boards now. Arneal will go back after it. Arneal around to the far side. Snuggerud with 44 seconds left in the period. Snuggerud is stopped there. And here's Cicerelli with it. Another chance. Ridley stops. Snuggerud clears it to McSween. He cleared his glove down to by Hatcher with 32 seconds left here in the first period. Now Proof in behind the net. 14 shots for the Capitals, 9 for Buffalo. The Capitals have taken a 3-1 lead. Priestley unable to get it out. Comes just over the line with 19 seconds remaining here in the first period. Comes to Arneal. Lost it off his stick. Now there's 12 seconds to go. Ramsey clears it back into the Washington zone. 4 seconds to go. Kennedy in behind the net. And that's it. The Capitals. The Sabres came back to tie this game at 1, but the Capitals then struck again for 2 goals. Shots on goal in the first period. Washington 14, the Buffalo Sabres 9. And so the score. Now play is underway as we start this second period. It'll be taken and cleared by Tucker, and he took a shot from Jeff Parker, and Tucker went to the ice. Round it'll come now to McGuire. Now the puck comes to center. Pinkner sends it to the far side for Hatcher. Here's his pass. Corknell steps it over the Buffalo blue line, and he'll work it back in behind the net. Pupa will leave it for Ramsey. Ramsey slides it through to Parker. Now gives it to McGuire into the Capital zone. Takes the shot. McGuire the pass. Here's Huntsman with a backhand drive. Missed the far goalpost. Ramsey with the shot there. Kept wide, loose puck. And reaching down to grab it is Mason, and he holds on.
Well, that line of Parker, McGuire, and Hartman, they're working very, very hard tonight. Jeff Parker on a few occasions looks like he's really steamrolling and knocking down everything in sight, but certainly that's the type of line that can really kick Buffalo into gear, especially a kid right there like Hartman. Has made it just a big difference to this team ever since he's come back. Not making a difference tonight. And then what they need right now is for Hartman maybe to go a little dingy one shift out there and excite everybody, wake the fans up a little bit, and maybe wake his teammates up.
Bob Mason signed as a free agent to the Caps in 1984. Face off in the Capital zone with Andrechuk. Losing the draw. Here's Andrechuk. It'll come back to the right side, cleared on into the Buffalo zone. It'll come right to Pupa. He gets it off the glass. It comes back to center. A loose puck. Shepard tried to get to it, but he is beaten to the puck there by Kleinendorf. Here's a shot. Kiprios that went wide now. Taken by Shepard. Shepard's pass gives it to Turgeon. He'll bring it into the Washington zone. Sends it off the corner boards. Mason around. Waiting for it is Bodger. Quick shot. It went off a leg, and the puck will go to the corner. Shepard will go after. Here's Shepard sending it back in behind the net. Taken by Andrechuk. Here's Turgeon, and he shot it wide. Turgeon had an open net and fired it wide. Here's Mason with an Andrechuk in front. Another drive, and Mason with another save. And now the Sabres try to keep it in, but again, it's cleared down and into the Buffalo zone. Bodger will go back after it. Oh, Turgeon had a great opportunity there a moment ago, Mike, and he just shot it wide to the goal post.
And, you know, Mason made another big save, and what he did, not so much the save, as what he did with the puck after he made the save. You could see him boot the puck right out of contention. It was not in the front of the net anymore, but here's the opportunity right here. Nice setup, clears the puck to Turgeon. Mark walks in and shoots wide. That's Turgeon's best opportunity of the night. Now, watch what he does with the rebound here. See right there? It just didn't bounce off his stick. He did that on purpose, and he redirected the puck to safety. Did that very coolly. That's tough to do under pressure.
Now 5 into the corner. Ruutu is there. It'll be taken. Here's Ruutu with it. Ruutu gets it back to McGildy. There's their shot, but it went wide of the Washington net. 5 in there against Pavanka. Here's Pavanka. Sends it ahead to Richard. Into the Buffalo zone. Richard called up from the Baltimore Skipjacks of the American Hockey League. Buffalo will play it around. Pavanka blocks it to keep it in. Now back in behind the net. Here's another chance. A loose puck in front. Knocked away. Back to the point. Here's a shot there. And it's cleared away. Group now. He gets it to McGill. Here he comes into the Washington zone. Vibe coming in on the play. Here's a pass to Vibe. Vibe gets tied up and is taken down to the side of the Washington net. And the puck is cleared again, and Kupa will leave it there for Ramsey. 3-1 Capitals lead. Ramsey clears it again back into the Washington zone. Miller quickly gets it up on the right side of Buffalo, making a player change. Here's a pass through now to Ridley. He has stopped and that allows Kennedy to come up with it. He comes back to center. Now slaps it back into the Washington zone. Hatcher gets it back in behind the net. Kennedy takes over at center. And again, puts it back into Washington territory. Mason will leave it there. Hatcher. Here's the long pass. Here they come. They've got a 2-on-1. Ridley gets it to the far side. Here's a backhand drive. Another shot. Pumpa makes the save on Hatcher. And the puck will come back to center. And again, it's cleared back, and Pumpa deflects that one on into the corner. Bodger gets it quickly up to the left side for Arneal. Here's Arneal's pass. Priestley into the Washington zone. He is taken down to the ice. Now the Capitals come back again. Ridley in over the line. Left it there for Holder. Here's a pass in front of it. Pumpa managed to get his stick on that one to deflect it over the glass and into the crowd. Now Parker in against Tucker. It'll come to Andrechuk, and he'll skate to center now with McGuire shooting it into the Washington zone. McGuire, he kicked at it, tries to keep it in. Here's the pass. Hunter with Parker after him. Here's Parker behind the net. Loose puck, still with it. Now here's Hartman. He puts it through the goal crease. Tried to get it off a leg. Here's Housley. He works it back into the Washington zone. Hartman waiting for it. Now sends it back to the other side. But Portnoy is there. Now Parker goes after him. Holder. He cleared it. Hartman again trying to keep it in. It deflects high into the air, and it's gloved down now by Tucker. He cleared it to center. Ramsey will come up with it, and again shoots it back into the Washington zone. Holder. It's knocked down by McGuire. Here's McGuire. McGuire sends it to the goal crease. Hartman tried to get a lot of shot going with behind the net. Now again, it'll come back into the corner. It'll come back over the line. They've got a break. Here's Hunter going right in on goal, shooting, and Pumpa makes the save on Dale Hunter. Now again, the Capitals with a chance, and here's Hunter with it, and he is hit by McGuire and recovered by Hartman. He gives it to Parker at center. Now he'll tip it on into the Washington zone. The Buffalo makes the change. Shepard steps on with Andrechuk and Turgeon. Now the Capitals on the attack with Portnoy coming in over the line. Recovered now by Bodger. He gets it through to Andrechuk, but it went off the leg of the linesman on the far side. Kicked out by Troop. There's Murray keeping it in now for the Capitals. Kiprio. Now it's back in behind the net. It'll be taken by Troop. Gives it to Shepard. Turgeon's on the left. Shepard steps in over the line with the drive, and Mason the save. Now Turgeon getting it back to Shepard. He tried to clear it in front to Andrechuk. Recovered by May. Now Krupp is there, and again clears it back into the Washington zone. Johansson will go back after it. Shepard trying to get to it. Now it's recovered by Andrzejczyk. Here's the pass, but a good defensive effort there. And again, the puck comes back into the Buffalo zone. Kennedy around to the far side, giving it to Andrzejczyk. 3-1, the Capitals lead. Here's the pass. Shepard missed it. Tried to get to it. Now it's slapped back into the Buffalo zone. Bruce chasing Kennedy. Round it'll go to McSween. Here's his pass to Shepard at center. Now with Turgeon. Steps in over the line. Long drive. And Mason makes the save and the rebound. Pater comes up with it. Puck comes back over the line. And again, it comes back into Buffalo zone to Vaca. Tied up and 5. Will bring it back for Buffalo. He comes in over the Washington line with the big drive. And that one went through the pads of Mason. Here's 5 with it again. 5 gets it back to Krupp. Shooting off the glove. And Mason grabs it and holds on.
Well, there's a lot of oohs and ahs from this shot from Uwe Krupp back at the point, but really it was a very easy save for the goaltender. Saw the puck all the way and just cleared it with the glove. And it jumped up a little bit on him, but he gobbled it up for the face-off.
Now Ruutu. 5 will go to the corner. Here's 5 with it. Send it behind the net to Ruutu. It'll come back. Krupp comes up on the play. Shooting! And that one just missed the goal post at the far side. Now Ciccarelli. 5 will keep it in for Buffalo. Here's McGillivray. And he lost it. And Ridley. Now 5 trying to get it away from him. Bounces back over the Washington blue line. Ramsey lines it over to Krupp. Again, sends it off the boards. Back into the Washington zone. McGillivray. His pass. It'll come back. Snuggerud is there to keep it in with a long shot. And Mason makes the save. And the Capitals clear it. And the puck is deflected into the penalty box area on the far side. 12:57 remaining in the second period. Capitals lead it by a 3-1 score. Now Tucker, he sends it back. Johansson comes to center in over the Buffalo blue line. And it's an offside call to Buffalo line. Well, the Buffalo Sabres held a press conference today here at Memorial Auditorium. And they want Buffalo to build a new arena rather than renovate the odd. Among their recommendations are Phase 1, the odd renovation, a new roof, air conditioning, handicapped access, and lengthening the ice surface. Should begin in the spring of 1990. And this would enable the Sabres to play in the odd until the new arena is ready. Sabres in the city should negotiate a new interim lease for the odd. The Sabres in the city should explore a new arena design and site. And apparently the Sabres say something happens within the next 5 years. They move the franchise, but I doubt it very much. Here's Tucker with the drive, and Krupp makes the save, and again it comes back into the Washington zone. Now the city of Buffalo, they definitely want the Buffalo Sabres to remain here in Buffalo. Hunter at center, now sends it through. Taken by Bodger. Now the pass to Arneal. But it's an offside call at the Washington blue line with 12:14 remaining. And there is a look at Jeff Courtnall. He's the brother of Russ Courtnall, who plays for the Montreal Canadiens. Well, a new arena, of course, that could possibly attract an NBA team. And
oh, it's endless. There's so many things, possibilities, just the pride of the city and how it looks from the outside. It's so many good things that come out of it.
3-1, the Capitals lead with 12 minutes remaining here in the second period. The puck comes back into the Washington zone. Hartman's in there. Now McGuire. It'll come back, and it's cleared again into Buffalo territory. Dean Kennedy goes back after it. Watched by Kiprios. Now Ramsey sends it to Hartman. Hartman with it. He cleared it to an open wing. Painter comes right back into the Buffalo zone, sends it behind the net. Ramsey. He attempts to clear it. Now Parker will go to the corner. Ramsey. He's bumped in there. Bombay comes to Hartman. Hartman's pass for McGuire. He'll come to center. Winds up with the long drive, and that is wide of the Washington net. Now Hatcher. He cleared it. Comes back over the line, and Housley will go back to get it. Housley again. Clears it back into the Washington zone. They send 2 forecheckers in. Puck comes back over the blue line. Taken by Boxer. Took a hard check there. Now they got all mixed up at the Buffalo bench area. I don't believe anything's going to develop. Oh, here's Hartman. Hartman and May.
Well, May's a tough customer, and Hartman's no slouch either, and he just fed him about 5 nifty knuckles right in the side of the head. Now, here's where they start throwing them, when they back off from one another. May's got him going pretty good right now.
Well, May's got 219 minutes in penalties this year. He's 6'1", 215 pounds. And we'll return in a moment. You're watching Sabres Hockey at the Niagara Frontier Sports Network. The most decisive loss for the Capitals is also the Sabres' most decisive win. Back in 1975, the Sabres defeated the Capitals by 14-2.
What does that help the plus and minuses? The pluses, anyways. There you go. New cameraman tonight.
Face-off will be in the Buffalo zone. The Capitals with a 2-goal lead with 11 minutes and 11 seconds remaining here in the second period. 18 shots for the Capitals, 15 for Buffalo. Andrechuk in against Pavanka. On the face-off, taken by Shepard. He can't clear it. It'll come back to Bodger. Now to Turgeon. A quick pass to Housley into the Capital zone. Housley getting it to Andrechuk. The shot off the glove of Mason. Now it's back in behind the net. Andrechuk battling. Shepard's there. Trying to get it away from Rump. Finally, it's recovered. Right back with it comes Holder. He'll bring it in over the Buffalo blue line to pass to Pavanka and break through to Pupa. Now Pavanka gets it behind the net. Turgeon takes it away from him. And it's gloved down again. Right out in front. There's a drive, and it went off one of the Buffalo players in front of Pupa, and then Pupa put the glove on it.
Pavanka normally can be very dangerous in around that area. He's a capable goal scorer, but he certainly didn't look like one in that last opportunity. Really didn't bear down, didn't get much on the shot. It was deflected, just kind of creeped up to the goaltender, Darren Pupa, who started this second period. Clint Malarchuk started the game for Buffalo. 3 goals on Malarchuk in the first period. Pupa moves in for the second, and here's the drive from Dave Andrechuk, and that puck was labeled for the far corner, and you can see Mason ducks down low for the glove save.
Line endorsed for the shot. Loose puck in front. It's still there. And there's going to be a penalty coming to the Buffalo Sabres. Off the glove of Andrechuk. And the Capitals will go to the power play, and this will be their first power play of the game.
So look at Dave Andrechuk wearing the C with Mike Foligno still out getting over the flu. Talking to Mike coming up here after the first period intermission, and he'll be ready very soon, very possibly for the game in Philadelphia and Chicago. Here's where the goal judge for tonight.
Tony Caggiano, and he's
the one and only.
Face off of the Buffalo zone into the left now. Recovered by Krupp, and he just slapped that one off the boards. The Capitals go to the power play, and they lead 3-1. Now Johansson. Snuggerud's forechecking. There goes Ruutu in after it. The pass now, and it's tipped by Snuggerud and off the left arm of Mason. Courtnall. Now Snuggerud trying to get to Courtnall. Oh, and he hooked Courtnall right down to the ice. The referee just let that one go.
Keep in mind, 11 short-handed goals against Washington.
Johansson. He brings it back and into the Buffalo zone. Arneal. He will clear it. And it'll go back into the Capital zone. Terry Murray not too happy on that call a moment ago. Courtnall, he was breaking down that right side, and he was hooked right to the ice.
Wouldn't think so.
Now they come back again. Pavanka left it there. Hatcher slaps it off the boards back into the Buffalo zone. Pupa will leave it. Krupp comes up with it, quickly gets it, and it's deflected over the glass and into the crowd right behind the Washington bench area. 9:09 left here in the second period. Now face-off just inside the Buffalo blue line with Turgeon. And against Mike Richards. Now to Ramsey, and he will clear it right back into the Washington zone. Mike Richards called up from Baltimore in 41 games for the Skipjacks. Richard had 36 goals, 35 assists for 71 points. Now Pavanka clearing it off the glass, and our Nhl is there. And again sends it back into the Washington zone with 33 seconds left in the penalty to Andrichuk. 8:42 left in the second period. Capitals continue to hold on. Here's Ruutu, the pass for Snuggerud. He scores! Snuggerud with his fourth goal in the last 4 games. A shorthanded goal. The Sabres are back in this one.
Nifty little pass right on the stick of Snuggerud. And Snuggerud actually, he almost fanned on this shot. Here's Ruutu, a heads-up play. This will be the 12th time this year that this has happened to the Washington Capitals. 12 shorthanded goals. Really a heads-up play. A nifty little pass. Interesting shot here. The puck was jumping around. He just kind of jabbed at it. The puck moved left in, right, still stuck in behind the post for him.
And in 15 seconds, Andrichuk will be back on the ice. The puck comes back into the Buffalo zone. Cooper playing it around the boards. Ridley cut it off. It'll come back to the line. It's kept in here. Satcher to the far side. Courtnall missed it. Ramsey. Now it's knocked out by Courtnall with another chance. A loose puck at the side of the net. Out in front it comes. It's still loose. Finally, Kennedy comes up with the rebound. Buffalo is back at full strength with Snuggerud. Swings in front of his own net. He sends it up to Andrichuk with Ruutu. And it's an offside call at the Washington blue line. Capitals with Dale Hunter at center. He pushes it ahead to Miller. Being chased by Housley. Housley trying to get to it. The loose puck in behind the net. Here's Miller with it, trying to get it in front with a shot, but he fired it behind the Buffalo net. Now Mogilny, all tied up by Bruce. Mogilny now gives it to Priestley. Here's Priestley's pass, tipped away, and again Bruce will work it right back into the Buffalo zone. 3-2, the Capitals lead. 7:19 left here in the second period. Short-handed goal by Snuggerud. Bodger's pass over for Priestley. He sends it in off the corner boards. It'll come back now to Housley. He works it back in, but Kleinendorf is there. Kleinendorf lost it. Here's Priest. Quick shot! The rebound taken by Mogilny. The shot to pass to Vive. Mogilny again keeps it in. Here's Mogilny, and he lost it, and it's recovered by Cicerelli. He'll bring it back and in now to the Buffalo zone. Cicerelli, the pass in front, knocked out by Housley. He gets it to Vive. He'll come to center and clears it in wide of the Washington net, and that will give time now for Buffalo to make a player change. Again, it comes back into the Buffalo zone. Pupa will leave it for Kennedy. He quickly gets it up to Turgeon. Stick handled by one, but he was knocked down. And he's hit again. Now, here's Krupp trying to keep it in. Tucker onto the stick of Kennedy. Throws it again back into the Washington zone. Now Turgeon happy with what Kypreos did.
Good for Turgeon. He caught something. I think he caught Cyprio's stick right in the side of the face, and he went right back at him. Turgeon's doing himself a big favor right now, especially right in front of the Washington bench where they can all see him do it. He's not going to put up with it. Now let's see what the call is. He was wiping his face off like he was caught with a high stick.
I don't know if they've got it on the replay or not, but it appears that there's going to be a penalty going to the Capitals, and perhaps Turgeon is going to go as well.
Seems like Kypreos, he doesn't even realize what happened. Could have been accidental. Here, Turgeon doesn't feel that way. There you look at Turgeon. Well, I'll tell you, he just stopped on a dime and went right back at him. You know, it's okay for some of these players that are a little milder temperament and don't play a real rough, aggressive game. Certainly you have some people that want to back you up a little bit, but somewhere along the line, here it is right here. Well, what's the problem so far? Okay, here it comes. Touch now. Nothing to this point. No, really, Ted, I really didn't notice anything.
Well, it might have happened after that replay. Here's the announcement of the penalty.
2 minutes for interference. Buffalo penalty to number 77, Pierre Turgeon. 2 minutes for slashing. Kypreos, 2 minutes for interference. Turgeon, 2 minutes for slashing. The time, 13:45.
Well, that Short-handed goal by Dave Snuggerud, his 7th of the year from Rutu at the 11:25 mark. Put Buffalo back in the game at 3-2. Face-off will be in the Washington zone now. On the draw, recovered by Hatcher. Bring it down that left side. He went down to the ice, and the puck comes back into behind the Buffalo net. Ramsey clears it to the corner, where it's recovered by Priestley. Gets it off the boards, gives it to Arneal, and he'll just dump it to the center ice area. Hatcher again clears it back in. Off the glove of Krupp. Now for Ramsey. Ahead to Arneal. He'll tip it on into the Washington zone. Painter goes back after it. Almost lost it to Arneal. Here's a long pass, but it went off the skate of Krupp, and they get a whistle. Courtnall let the drive go right after he heard the whistle. Jeff Courtnall with 15 goals and 25 assists. Well, Courtnall now with 16 goals.
Well, Courtnall also leads this Washington team with total shots on goal of 186, and he also has a best plus rating on the Washington Capitals with a plus 11. Michael Pavanka is a minus 10. That's the lowest. Let's slip down to Buffalo and have a look here. Ramsey's leading the Sabres with a plus 14. Dean Kennedy has the worst minus with a minus 10. Dave Anderchuk leading the team with shots with 128, and Housley right behind him.
Now Ramsey with 5:40 left in the second period. Sends it off the glass into the Washington zone. Round it'll come to Vanka. He's checked loose. Bucket will come back. Here's Ramsey with it. He lets the shot go. Makes the save. Arneal tried to clear it in front of the Washington net, but it's cleared. Krupp is in deep. There's Krupp with it. Krupp down side of the net to Arneal. Arneal in behind the net. He scoops it in front, and Johansson comes up with it. Now the puck back over the Washington blue line. Arneal gets back on side. Kleinendorf. Now the pass to Pavanka. Krupp up on the play to break it up. Again, it'll come back into the Buffalo zone. Ramsey's playing without his right glove. He comes over the line, gets to center. Now sends it in. He fired it in and it hit his own glove. The puck going out hit the referee. That puck was high in the air. Mark Fawcett was hit. Well, both teams have had a total of 21 shots on goal. Following tonight's game, the league will take time out for the All-Star game on Sunday afternoon. Now Rutu and Ridley. 4:49 left in the second period. Mogilny is cleared back now to Boncher. Housley will come to center. Now the pass to Mogilny. Breaks in on goal. Then he lost control of the puck at the last moment. Here's a pass off the skate of Rutu. Now recovered by Holder. He'll bring it into the Buffalo zone. Knocked away. Mogilny will skate back now for Buffalo. Gets in over the line. Here's Mogilny trying to get in on goal. The shot, the save, the rebound. Here's Vive. Hit the side of the net. Vive took a whack at it. Hit the side of the net. Now taken by Housley. He sends it back in. Here's Rutu. Into the corner. Ridley's there. Now Vive. And it's cleared. Finally. Gloved down by Bodger. Bodger works it back into the Washington zone. Ridley. He'll come up with a loss of Mogilny again. Steps in over the line. Waiting now for Parker. Mogilny. Trying to work. He was stick handling and then lost it. Now Holder. Well, the referee finally decides to blow the whistle with 3 minutes and 50 seconds remaining here in the second period.
I'm starting to believe that fellow right there, Alexander Mogilny, will bring people to their feet like no other Sabre other than Gilbert Perreault possibly for the Buffalo Sabres. I mean, this guy is pure excitement. He does too much in his zone. He's going to really have to use his teammates a little more. But right now, he's having an awful lot of fun going on these solo shots. He got away with it, certainly in his homeland and the league he was playing in, but a little different in the National Hockey League.
Now Rutu winning the draw. Back to Ramsey. He slapped it into the Washington zone. Mason leaving it there. Around it'll go to the far side. It'll come to Ramsey. He fanned on it. Couldn't get the shot on net now. Pavanka works it in off the corner boards. Ramsey's there. Loose puck in front of the net. Recovered by Krupp. He quickly gets it back to center. Now Painter sends it back in. 1:05 left in the second period. Krupp. Now back to Ramsey. Here's the quick pass that's intercepted by Drews. Waits for a teammate to come onside. Now to Pavanka. Broke it up. Comes just over the line. Cleared back in, Ramsey. Route 2 with 45 seconds left in the period. And again, it is cleared back into the Buffalo zone. There will be no icing. 35 seconds left. 3-2 the Capitals lead. Now Boxer getting it off the board. Shepard will go in against Johansson. Johansson, round it'll come to Andrechuk. Andrechuk keeping it in now. Takes the shot, still with it. Lets the drive go, but it was blocked by Russ, and Tucker will clear it to center. Left down by Kennedy. Now it's 17 seconds to go. Again, it comes back into the Washington zone. And the Buffalo Sabres are called for icing with 11 seconds remaining in the second period. Dave Andrechuk, second in scoring for the Buffalo Sabres. Got 22 goals. Mike Ridley, he was traded by the Rangers to Washington with Kelly Miller for Bob Carpenter. On the draw, here's a quick shot. Krupa makes the save, and he throws the puck into the corner. Now goes back to the side of the net. Here's another chance. Now Krupa plugs that one and holds on with 2 seconds remaining. Well, they pulled their goaltender, Mason, and they have 6 skaters now inside the blue line, but that's it. Second period is over, and the Capitals will take a 1-goal lead into the second intermission. Shots on goal. Buffalo with a total of 19 shots, and the Washington Capitals wait and see. I have no idea what the injury was.
Well, I remember the puck caught him right near the end of the period, but I wish they would make an announcement in this situation so the fans would know and understand, and even the announcers.
Now Hatcher comes up with it. He'll clear it. It'll come back to the Buffalo blue line where it's taken by Ramsey. Gets it to Parker. Sends it on into the Washington zone. Now Painter going back after it. Gets it off the boards. It's swept away. Parker comes up with it again. Clears it back in to the Washington zone. 3-2 the Capitals lead as we start the third period. Up it comes now to Tucker. Now the quick pass knocked down. Courtnall, he stumbled just over the blue line and fell down. Here's the pass. Up now for Parker. Parker sends it to the side of the net. Mason grabbed it, stumbled a bit, but he managed to hold on. That'll force a face-off in the Washington zone.
Well, the referee, Bassett, was very woozy going off the ice, so they're trying to de-wooze him. And get him ready to get him back out there. Now, there's the senior official right there of the two, and he'll be the big cheese from here on in this third period. He'll make the final decision. That's Ron Finn, working with a much younger linesman. Bassett might just end up coming back into this game as soon as he gets his senses back.
Face off in the Washington zone with Turgeon. Now the draw will go to the corner. Holder behind the net. Loose puck with a back. Taken by Miller. And he'll clear it the length of the ice on into the Buffalo zone. Boxer trying to get to it first, and the Capitals will be called for icing, and that'll bring the face-off back into the Washington zone. Look at Phil Housley in his last 7 games has picked up 4 goals and 5 assists. Phil Housley will be going to the All-Star game with Pierre Turgeon, Dave Andrechuk, and Darren Krupa. That game will be a 1:30 start on NBC on Sunday afternoon, and that's the first time that the All-Star game's been on NBC in an awful long time.
I'd love to see them get a great big fat rating.
Out Cicerelli. Will come back. Bonger. He'll keep it in but off the skate of Johansson. Miller at center. Comes in over the Buffalo blue line. Turgeon trying to get to him. The pass was blocked by Housley. Now Ridley. He gets it back to Cicerelli. Tips it to the side of that. Coop is there. Working it up now for Shepard, and he lost it at the Buffalo blue line. It's clubbed down by Andrechuk. He'll bring it back now. Gets it to Turgeon. Turgeon lets the shot go. It was blocked by Cicerelli. Turgeon almost intercepted in front. Here's a long shot off the stick of Johansson. Now Cicerelli slides it back and behind the net. Here's Shepard trying to get to it. He'll tip it back in now to Turgeon. Here's Turgeon with it behind the Washington net. Trying to work. He works it out in front of Housley. Goes to the far side. Still has it. He is checked at the last moment. And a sliding save there by Ridley. Deflected over the Washington blue line. Housley will bring it right back. He flips it on into the Washington zone. Buffalo will make a change. The Sabres are called for icing. 3-2 Capitals lead face off in the Buffalo zone. Rob Murray in against Brutu. And the two linesmen still on the ice. Taking over from the referee, Mark Poisson. Now by. Here's the pass. It'll come to McGeelty into the Washington zone. McGeelty trying to break in. There's going to be a penalty now to the Capitals. McGeelty was taken down. And Buffalo will go to the power play. McGeelty, with that quick breaking speed, was taken down to the ice, and the Sabres will go to their third power play of the game, and they're 1 for 2 in the power play.
And linesman, now referee Ron Finn, is very quick on the whistle, too. He was decisive. He didn't think about it. The arm just went right up instantly, and the call was made. Sabres move on to the power play now with the faceoff in the Washington zone. This whole situation is just perfect for Buffalo. They're down 1 goal. They got the puck where they want it, and that's in the Washington zone. Now it's up to them to control it to make things happen.
Painter goes to the penalty box for hooking at the 2:20 mark. Andrechuk by Turgeon. With Housley and Bodger back. Here's Bodger back at the blue line. Winds up with the big drive. He scores! Bodger gets his second goal of the game. Another power play goal for Bodger. The game is tied at 3.
Well, if you heard me harping on the importance of face-offs, you'll see why. After this draw is won cleanly by Dave Andrechuk, about as clean as you can win a face-off. And you can see the man going to the front. I mean, this is perfect. Leonard perfect. This is the way Dudley and his coaching staff put it on the blackboard. Say, this is what we want you to do, fellas, so you can score in the power play. Win the draw. One man go to the net. That's exactly what Five did. The goaltender can't see feathers. He just drilled it into the far corner. So all Bodger had to do was come up with at that point was a good, clean shot, get it through, and get it where the goaltender wasn't.
Number 25 is Andrechuk. Bodger from Andrechuk.
Priestley backing up the line. There's a big shot, and Mason. Not for a moment he had lost it, but apparently looks down in his right pad, between the pad and his right knee.
Well, let's have a look at the drive. This is from way out. Nifty little Ken Priestley is just tearing up the American Hockey League. They bring him up to the big times, and he's hammering for a goal here, and this could have been the go-ahead goal. Bob Mason makes the save, but it's not clean. He struggled with it.
3-3 tie with 17:15 remaining in the third period. Priestley sends it off the corner boards now. And the puck will come back over the blue line. Priestley now gives it to Ramsey. Ramsey ahead to Arneal. Slides it through and off the stick of Snuggerud. Here's Snuggerud shooting. He shot it wide. There's Priestley trying to get in after it. It'll come now to Tucker. Hunter. He'll come back at center. It was broken up, but no. He now recovers it again. Sends it off the glass back in behind the Buffalo net. And Pupa will leave it there. Here's Kennedy. Now giving it to Snuggerud. His pass onto the stick of Courtney. Now gloved down by Kennedy. Works it back in off the boards into the Washington zone. Hatcher. He comes back at center now into the Buffalo zone. Hatcher still with it, trying to get by. McSween unable to. A backhand drive. Pupa makes the save in the rebound. Knocked ahead. Here comes McGuire into the Washington zone with Hartman. Hartman goes towards the net, and the puck went in behind the Washington net. Now Parker gets it back. Here's Hartman. Hartman getting it out in front of an office gate, and Bruce will take over. 2-on-2 situation for the Capitals. We'll go to the far side. Coming up on the play. Here's a chance now. The drive, and that one went wide by Johansson. Now Bruce trying to keep it in. Here's Johansson. Still with it. Lost it to Krug. He'll bring it back. And he is stopped. Now Parker waiting back just inside the line. Shoots it to center. Hatcher steps away from Hartman. It's in over the line. Now McSween. Around it'll come to McGuire. 3-3 tie. 15:35 left in the third period. Ridley takes over and he backhands it back into the Buffalo zone. Now Pupa playing it around to the far side. Ridley comes up with a pass to the side of the net. It's 5 now. He skates back for Buffalo. But the Sabres are making a change. 5 with a quick shot. Mason. Now Ruff. McGeelty's on. The through 2. Marucci slapped that one away. He goes after it. Left it for Housley. It'll come back to McGillney. Now Rutu. McGillney cleared it through to Bodger. Head to Housley. Will come to center. There's the pass, but off the leg. Recovered by Rutu. Had to wait for McGillney to step onside. He did. Flipped it back and behind the Washington net. McGillney into forecheck. Around to the come now to Cicerelli. And he lost it. It'll go deep into the Buffalo zone, and the Capitals will be called for icing.
Doug Bodger tying this game up, his 6th goal of the season, his 2nd of the evening from Dave Anderchuk. Anderchuk winning that face-off, bringing it right back to Bodger. Bodger with the drive to the far side, beating the goaltender cleanly.
Now Hunter slides it back into behind the Washington net holder. With the long pass went off Tucker, taken by Hunter. He'll give it to Courtnall. Here's the shot, but it's blocked by Bodger. Now McGillney trying to get it in. It comes right in front of the net. Here's Tucker. Couldn't go to the backhand to get the shot. It comes to McGillney.
Oh, did he want that one, Ted?
Ooh, he sure did. McGillney, he breaks away and into the Washington zone. Then he lost it. It'll come back to the line. Hunter. He'll bring it back for the Capitals and over the Buffalo line. Waiting, looking for a free teammate. Housley. Here's the quick pass to a breaking McGillney into the Washington zone. McGillney lets the high drive Donovan off the glass. Now Buffalo makes the change. It'll come back to Ramsey. Ramsey sends it over now for Turgeon. Shepard goes to Wolf. Good move. And the pass did not get through to Shepard. Up it comes to Druce. Slides it through now. A loose puck. It's knocked back over the line. Recovered by Russ. He has to back up. Waiting for his teammates to come onside. Shepard checked him and comes back into the Buffalo zone. Over it goes to Kennedy. He gets it off the glass, but it hit the line from the far side. Now taking it back to Vanka. With Bruce in front. The pass, and here's Bruce, and Hoopa makes the arm save there. Now Ramsey slapped that one around the boards. It'll go all the way back into the Washington zone. The Buffalo Sabres will be called for icing with 13:17 remaining in the 3rd period.
You look at Pierre Turgeon, I've noticed a few things tonight where he might be coming around again and really getting to the top of his game. There's been 2 or 3 shifts where he put on some tremendous individual moves, and that certainly is a good sign. And here's one of them right here for you to take a look at. That's vintage Pierre Turgeon, something you haven't seen probably in the last 10 games. Tonight, he might be coming out of it. This is a good sign for Buffalo.
Well, Turgeon, in his last 20 games, has 9 goals, 14 assists for 23 points. Face off the Buffalo zone now. They go to the corner. Picked out by Ridley. He's taken the boards. Loose puck in behind the net. Troops all over one of the Capitals players, and he brings them down. Miller. The puck will come to center. Again, cleared right back into the Buffalo zone. Pupa plays it away from Miller. Go to Snuggerud. He tried to clear it. Gloved down by Cicerelli. He'll go to the corner. Cicerelli looking. And it is cleared by Priestley. There'll be no icing call. Rush will go back after it. Now the pass to center. Broken up by Bonker. Out comes to Cicerelli, but it's an offside call at the Buffalo blue line. 12:39 remaining. 31 shots for the Buffalo Sabres and 25 for the Capitals.
As you look at Terry Murray, we mentioned earlier, takes over as the head coach of this Washington Capital Hockey Club, working down with the Baltimore Skipjacks in the American Hockey League. Finally has his opportunity to move up, but the only problem is he has to replace his brother. But his brother is quite happy, Brian Murray, that his brother got the job and not someone else.
Yeah.
Brian Murray will surface. He's a good man. He has a good record. The only problem, the only blemish to his record was the playoffs. Ted, he really didn't have that great a playoff record.
Now Ramsey slides it through to Parker. He'll give it to McGuire. Steps by Courtnall into the Washington zone. It'll come back to Ramsey, shooting at the goalpost. Ramsey fired that one off the goalpost. Now taken by Hartman. He sends it back into the Washington zone. Painter working it through to Hatcher. Stopped now by Hartman. He'll come back over the line. Ramsey again. He cleared it. Well, Mike Ramsey fired that one off the goalpost.
Mike Ramsey doesn't score too many goals, so he certainly wants this one, and this would have been a big one for Buffalo. Would have been the go-ahead goal. Mason was just scintillating earlier in this game, but you talk about slow. Right now, he's slower than a snail on crutches. Jeff just got over there.
Parker is gone for interference at the 7:53 mark, and the Capitals go to their second power play. They're 0 for 1. Now Rutu. Hatcher has control now for the Capitals. Just slides to the back end, gives it to Johansson. Pavanka at center. Working it over to Cicerelli, but it's an offside call. Cicerelli was a good 1, 2, 3 strides inside the blue line.
You know, you kind of have to wonder, how could Washington really be positive about their power play when they've had 12 shorthanded goals scored against them? I mean, you have to wonder where their heads are going out there, first of all, to try to deal with the power play. Here's the leading power play goal scorer right there, Michael Pavanka, along with Dale Hunter. But once again tonight, another shorthanded goal scored against them. Was that Snuggerud that picked that one up?
Yep. Now Rutu. And against Mike Richards. And Kennedy trying to get it back. Just inside the blue line, and Kennedy falls on the puck, and Rutu doing some shoving. And play is whistled down. The referee is still not returned for this third period, and it appears as though he perhaps will not return to the game.
Talking to John Tucker, I said, you're playing with Hunter. He says, yeah. And I said, is he a good hockey player? And he says, I've never seen a player. I've never played with a player that gets so much working room as Dale Hunter. Yeah. But think about it, he really does. I mean, he gets the puck and everybody heads for the hills. You get near him, all you're going to catch his elbows and stick him the most.
It's knocked away by Rutu at the back into the Washington zone. Johansson, here's Rutu chasing him. Rutu kicked at it. Here's Snuggerud, gets it back now to Kennedy. Here's Kennedy, and he had to go back over the blue line.
Oh, there's a
Snuggerud, and he is taken down, and Richard will go to the penalty box. Snuggerud was just grabbed, taken down with 1:29 left in the penalty to Parker.
You know what I really like about this penalty is the fact that Snuggerud makes this happen. This young kid is not working hard forechecking like he always does ever since the first shift he's ever played for this hockey club, and he continues to play that way night after night. If he doesn't play the way he was going forceful like that on the offense to forecheck, there is no penalty. But he had his nose right down low to the ice and digging in as hard as he could. He put such a hustle on that one guy. He was standing still, and the guy reaches out and just jerks him down to the ice.
Now Parker has 1 minute 29 seconds to serve in his penalty. There's 11 minutes and 36 seconds remaining in the third period. The game is tied at 3. And 31 shots for the Sabres, 25 for the Capitals.
Well, the first period was a disaster for the Sabres. Second period, they played really a good sound period, and they're playing a sound period here again. But, you know, if they don't end up winning this game and say the game ends up tied, that's not good enough. They should get 2 points against this hockey club, and they can look back to their play in the first period. That really hurt them. There's plenty of time left here to pick up the 2 points. Also for Washington, it works the other way, too.
A real battle in the Patrick division. New Jersey and the Islanders on top with 48 points, and only 6 points separate the entire 6 teams. Washington in the last place with 42 points, one back of 5th place Philadelphia. Now Hatcher at his own line, giving it to Cicerelli. Here's the long pass, but it'll go deep into the Buffalo zone. The Capitals will be called for icing. And you're watching Sabres hockey on the Niagara Frontier Sports Network. Now Andreychuk and Turgeon with Housley and Bodger in the face-off of the Washington zone. Andreychuk clearing it into the corner now. Taken by Holder to his pass for Miller at center. Hit over the Buffalo blue line. Miller trying to get around Bodger. He does. Loose puck. Where is it? Here's Wrigley. And Hoopa makes the save, and Wrigley tried to get the shot away. And Hoopa reached out and grabbed it and held on.
Boy, didn't Ridley look strong when he cut in and goal. Watch this. This is a very determined effort by Ridley. Watch him lay the pipe right down here. Take a chopping from Doug Bodgers all over him. He still continues almost to carry Bodger on his back for that opportunity. The Capitals step in there for the second chance on the rebound. Puck was just laying there, and no one cleared it.
Face off into the right of Pupa. 11-10 remaining in the third period. And Andreychuk lost the draw. Back it comes to Boulder with a drive, and Pupa squeezes the pads and holds on. He grabbed it in his glove, and then he just held on to the puck.
Well, Buffalo has to be careful right now. Washington just picking up a little steam here in the last half minute. So the way to take care of that is simply by winning this faceoff, not losing it, and getting control of the puck.
The Sabertooth, he's going to be at the NHL All-Star game on Sunday afternoon in Pittsburgh. Andrechuk and Hunter, and Andrechuk wins the draw. Housley in behind the net. Starts to bring it back. Now moves it to Rutu, and he tried to get to Andrechuk, but it went right onto the stick of Hunter. Holder. Russ giving it to Hunter. He'll come in over the line. Lets the drive go. It was deflected off the stick of Housley, taken by Bodger. Around to the far side. Holder again will keep it in. Here's Hunter behind the net. In Bodger, they go to the corner boards. Housley trying to tip it free. Courtney's there. Housley comes up with it. He's got Rutu and Mogilny. Here's a long pass, but it's knocked down nicely by Holder. Rutu after Holder, and the puck will come to run. 19 seconds, the Parker will step back on the ice. Courtney with the long shot. Poop at the save of the rebound. It'll come to Ramsey. Here's the pass off the stick of Rutu into the Washington zone of Mogilny. Now Mogilny into the corner. Here's Mogilny right behind the net. He tried to get it to Krupp, who was breaking, and the Capitals get a 3-on-1 break. Now Krupp comes back on the play, but Parker's back on the ice. Ramsey, he'll bring it back. Sabres in the power play for 22 seconds. Ramsey in over the line. Ramsey, he drops it back now into the corner for Parker. Parker puts it through the goal crease. Andrechuk with it. Here's Andrechuk trying to get in with the shot. The rebound, the loose puck, and it's cleared and back over the line. That forces Ramsey back to get it with 9:40 left here in the third period. Now it'll come to Kennedy. He skates behind the Buffalo net. Now the Capitals are back at full strength. Kennedy in over the line, still with it. Backhanding it off the corner boards in behind the net. Rouse. It'll be tipped. Andrechuk goes in after it. He'll come back to Kennedy. Again sends it behind. Turgeon reached for it, but he just couldn't get it. Here's Bodger keeping it in. But apparently the puck came over the blue line, off back in. It's an offside call. 9 minutes and 14 seconds remaining in the third period.
Interesting stat coming into this game. You look at the Washington Capitals, their penalty minutes per game is the highest in the National Hockey League. You wouldn't think that of the Washington Capitals, but they average 30 minutes, .6 per game. Buffalo are 19th in the NHL, and they're 17.8 per game. So that's a big differential.
Bodger again slaps it into the Washington zone. Kennedy comes up on the play to try to keep it in for Buffalo. Gets it back in behind the net. Here's Arneal. Arneal trying to work it in front. Here's Snuggerud, one-handing it, and it was blocked by Mason. Now Arneal with it again. He sends it back. It'll come back in front, and Cicerelli will take over for the Capitals. Johansson in over the line. It's kicked out. It's an offside call to the Buffalo blue line. You're watching Sabres hockey.
Well, let's have a look at a very desperate attempt here to score a goal, and it was Snuggerud with one hand, not on the forehand. That's bad enough. He's got to go to the backhand and still use one hand and just flick the wrist and trying to get lucky.
Now Priestley wins the draw. Sends it back into Ramsey. 8:45 left in the third. Tied at 3. Now comes over the line to Priestley. He'll send it into the Washington zone. Arneal is there. Now again, it'll come back into the Buffalo territory, and Dean Kennedy will work it in off the corner boards. Ramsey gets it back behind the net. Kennedy will take over. Here's the pass to Priestley. By one comes to center. Shoots it into the Washington zone. Mason will leave it for Holder. Off the glass. Ridley back at center with Cicerelli. Coming up in the blade. Dropped it back for Cicerelli. Lets the shot go. The Troop stepped in front of that one. Housley. He takes over. Now brings it back with Rutu and 5. There's the quick pass to 5. 5 unable to get around Johansson. Hatcher. Now here's 5. Trying to get it in front. And he has stopped. It's cleared. Housley waiting for it at the left point, but it comes over the blue line. He cleared it in. It's knocked away. Hunter. It's an offside call at the Buffalo line. For the Rochester Americans, their next home start will be next Wednesday, January the 24th, and they'll take on Sherbrooke in Rochester, Rochester's War Memorial Auditorium.
You look at Dale Henner. Now watch McGilley moving into the slot area. trying to set himself up for this opportunity. Like he's looking. Give me the puck, and he doesn't quite get it. But he had good positioning, and there you look at Rick Five. And I guess if you're looking for any one individual that might score a winning goal here tonight, you'd certainly have to throw Rick Five's name in there.
Nhl Rs has had 37 goals in 70 games for the Buffalo Sabres since he came over from the Chicago Blackhawks. Now the pass to Ruutu with 5 in the right, Mogili on the left. Courtnall breaks it up. Another 7:30 left in the third. Courtnall, he's hooked and taken down. There will be a penalty going to the Buffalo Sabres, a hooking call. That will put the Capitals on the power play.
What you'll see here is a man gets by Ruutu, and his mind won't accept the fact that the guy just pulled by him, and so he reaches out and brings him down to the ice. Not a very disciplined play, and a penalty that could hurt the Sabres in a big way here as Washington move on to the power play with 7:26 remaining in the third period, and a tie game.
Now bouncing puck. Ramsey tries to clear it. He gets it back to center. Holder to the far side. Johansson. Holder with it at center. Now Hatcher steps in over the line. Here's Hatcher going right in and goal. He scores! Hatcher gets his second goal of the game. The Capitals go into a 4-3 lead, a power play goal.
Well, the hook certainly really is outstanding now as Hatcher moves in and just beats the defenseman Kennedy here very cleanly to the outside. I think Kennedy felt he had him kind of a bad angle, but he really didn't get a good step right here. Here's where he pulls away, turns in towards the goal, and he has to pull off a real neat little shot here to beat Pupa. You can see he'll just crank this puck right to the forehand. This is where he wants it. He gets to the forehand. Now he's facing the whole net instead of being in the backhand and just catching a small piece of it. Outstanding goal by Kevin Hatcher, a solo effort. His second of the night. 2 defensemen here tonight with double goals. Bodger with a pair and Hatcher with a pair.
Capitals take a 4-3 lead with 7 minutes and 1 second now remaining here in the third period. Hatcher with his 7th of the year from Johansson at the 12:52 mark. Now Ross back at his own line to the far side. It'll be tipped in by Painter into the Buffalo zone. Pupa will leave it for Ramsey. Round it'll go to Shepard. Shepard tried to slap at it. Now here's Miller. Sends it behind the net. Shepard will go after it into the corner. Works it off the glass. It'll come back to center. Russ. Third it right back in. And Pupa got back with the pad. Now it's taken by Ridley. Here's Ridley. Left it there for Ciccarelli. Into the corner. The pass in front. And Shepard will come up with it. Got Andrechuk. Gives it to Andrechuk. Andrechuk in over the line. He lost it. Now back to Turgeon. Turgeon with the shot. And it's blocked. Loose puck. And the Capitals come right back with Ciccarelli. Left it for Pavanka. In over the line. Pavanka reaches back after it. Gives it now to Russ with the shot. Pupa got the pad on that one. And again, it comes back to center with 6 minutes now remaining in the third period. 4-3 Capitals lead. Holder slapped that one back in. Now Ruutu giving it to Five. Five into the Washington zone. He was unable to get around Holder. Now Bodger unable to keep it in. Here comes Drews. A bouncing puck. Housley takes it away from him. Now it's broken up by Hunter. Housley. Now giving it to Bodger. 5:30 left here in the third. It'll come to Andrechuk. Now Bodger sends it back. Hatcher is there to shoot it back. It's right over the glass and into the crowd here at Memorial Auditorium with 5:19 remaining in the third period.
Well, it's funny how the complexion of a game can change. All of a sudden now, Washington look like a very confident hockey club. They're doing all the right things with the puck. They're playing it safe, smart, banking off the boards. The defensemen are using one another. They're killing the clock perfectly. Watch this play right here by Phil Housley. He takes Drews right there. Drews turns him inside out, except not far enough as Housley just stops off the spin and kicks the puck up to the stick with a skate. One movement.
Hatcher at center, backhanding it into the Buffalo zone. Ramsey. Now giving it to Krug. He'll get it through to Snuggerud, but again it's cleared by the Capitals back into the Buffalo zone. Ramsey. Now Krug, he couldn't get it. knocked away. Comes back. Right back to the Washington blue line. Hatcher. Up for Tucker. The third glove down now by Krupp. He sends it to a breaking Snuggerud into the Washington zone. Sends it towards the net. Mason just deflected on into the corner. Now Hunter around to the far side. Snuggerud gets in on the play. It'll come back. Krupp took a swing at it and missed it. Bodger has to go back after it. 4:30 now remaining. It'll come to Snuggerud. He'll tip it again back into the Washington zone. Johansson in behind the net. 4-3. The Capitals lead here in the third period. Here's Ramsey. Andrechuk steps in over the line. Here's Andrechuk trying to get in on goal. It'll go to Housley at the right point. He works it back in behind the net to Turgeon. Here's Turgeon to the goal crease. They kick at it, and Mason sprawls and holds on. Andrechuk beginning to mix it up there with Rob Rouse. And the two linesmen, the referee, and the two linesmen. For the referee. One linesman's a referee.
Well, you'll see everything caves in finally, but watch to the front of the net here. The Sabres try to set up. Turgeon with the puck will go to the front with it. And all of a sudden, there's a Sabre player alone, and then there isn't a Sabre player alone as they have him covered. Just clean him right out. Mason holds onto the puck, and that's why it's moved. This thing settled down here and on track again. This is 4:02 remaining in the third period. Capitals in the lead, 4-3.
Here's the announcement of the penalties.
25, Dave Andrechuk. Each 2 minutes for high sticking. Rouse and Andrechuk. Each 2 minutes for high sticking. The time 15:58.
4 minutes and 2 seconds remaining in the third period. The Capitals with a 4-3 lead and a face-off in the Capital zone. 34 shots for Buffalo, 31 for the Capitals.
It was Kevin Hatcher's 7th goal of the season for Kalle Johansson. Hatcher, by the way, will be going to the All-Star game representing Washington.
Now Turgeon in against Murray. Murray wins the draw. Hatcher sends it off the glass behind the Washington net. Housley comes up on the play. Now it'll come back to Shepard. Third it in, but it's gloved down. Bruce ahead to Murray. Here's Pavanka. He sends it in front, a loose puck, and unable to get to it. Here comes Housley. He'll bring it back with Turgeon. Shepard. Housley steps in over the line. He'll tip it in off the corner boards. Hatcher's there. Around it'll come now for Murray. Here's Ramsey with the long shot of an off the leg, and Bruce comes up with it. Loose puck in Mobile. He goes back to get it. Now the pass for Ramsey. Into the Washington zone, sends it towards the net, and Mason will leave it for Holder. Around it'll come to Turgeon. He gets it back into Shepard. Shepard's pass right onto the stick of Drew. Pavanka, 3 minutes and 13 seconds now remaining. Capitals with a 4-3 lead. Now Ruutu. He'll come to center, pushed it too far ahead, gets in over the line. Here's Ruutu, and he is stopped at the last moment by Johansson. Ridley comes right back. Try to get to the corner. One-handed in front. Ruutu's there. He back it comes now to Cicerelli. Big shot there. Poop with the save. The rebound. He brings it in. And he holds on to that with 2:46 remaining.
It was very, very dangerous right there for Buffalo, simply because there are so many players in front of the goaltender, Darren Pupa. The shot got through from Cicerelli. Kept it nice and low. It could have went up to him like a pinball. Well, there's some earlier opportunities also for Washington, and here's one right here. Watch Bodger, number 8 on this play. Right across between his legs. He comes back, tries to tie that man up, and just throws him off balance enough that he takes the shot away from him.
Now Kennedy looks for a Hartman, gives it to him, and then he lost it off his stick. Krupp with it. He'll come to center. He is stopped. Come on, he fell down. Ridley's there. Hartman trying to kick at it. It'll come back into Priestley. Now Kennedy. Puts it right under the stick of Thatcher, and again dumps it back into the Buffalo zone with 2:18 remaining here in the third period. Now Krupp trying to get to it. Round it'll come to a waiting Hartman. Hartman tipped it high into the air. It'll bounce at center. Snuggerud didn't get it. Now there's 2 minutes left to play in the third period. Housley took a slap at it and missed it. Here's Tucker. Now Tucker with it. Shoots it to the far side. Bucknell will go to the corner. Gets it back into Dale Hunter. Hunter steps away from Route 2. Here's a chance now for Tucker. He's all alone. Tucker shoots. He scores! John Tucker. And what a return to Memorial Auditorium for John Tucker. And that could be the clincher for the Washington Capitals.
You know, if you ask John Tucker right now about one of the happiest moments of his life, this might be it. It's something a player wants to do once he's traded, is come back, his team to win, for him to have a big night. And you can see at all times of time, nobody really on him as he has time to go to the forehand. Once he's to the forehand, he looks up, the goaltender's down, he's really facing almost an open net. It's a nice goal by Tucker, some good pressure by the Washington Capitals.
And listen to the cheers.
Number 32, Dale Hunter, and number 14, Jeff Cornell. Tucker from Hunter and Cornell. The time, 18-17.
Now there's 1:29 left in the third period. The Buffalo Sabres, who had a great home record to start the season. Here's Arneal. Now Vive trying to come up with it. It'll come back now. This has got the bench at the wide open net. Here's Housley reaching back after with 1:08 to go. Works it off the boards back into the Capital zone. Now Mason will leave it there. He'll come off the glass and again back into Buffalo territory with 1 minute to go. Boxer will go back to touch it. Now the Capitals have a 2-goal lead over the Buffalo Sabres, and the Sabres started the season well. They've gone quite a few games without a loss. Coming into this game tonight, they've won 15, lost 4, and tied 2. Now it appears as though they may lose their 4th game in a row at home. They've lost their last 3 home games. They've lost to the Bruins twice and to the Islanders once. Now with 56 seconds remaining, a timeout has been called, and they're going to try and figure out just what they can do with 56 seconds remaining here in the third period. John Tucker has picked up 3 points tonight. He's had 2 assists and 1 goal. And Tucker in 7 games with the Washington Capitals has 3 goals and 5 assists. And in 15 games, managed to pick up 4 goals, 7 assists. Chicago with a 4-0 lead over Vancouver in the third period. The Flames have taken a 3-2 lead over the Hartford Whalers. The Islanders and Jets, they are tied at 3 in the second period of that game, the Winnipeg Arena. Face-off will be in the Washington zone. And the Buffalo Sabres have 6 skaters inside the Capitals blue line. Bob Mason, he's only won 3 games this year. And on the draw now, it's in behind the net. It'll come back now, 5, now Botcher. It'll come back over the line, but 48 seconds to go. Housley going back after it, trying to step away from Ridley. Housley with the pass to Andrechuk and into the Capital zone. Andrechuk trying to get in on goal. He is stopped. Oh, loose puck there. By went after it. Now taking it by Turgeon. Turgeon sends it in front. Here's Housley trying to jam it in. He couldn't. Here's Jefford goes to the corner now. Housley behind the net to the goal crease. They jam at it. Mason knocks it away. 24 seconds remaining. They try to clear it. Here's Cicerelli. And it's an open net. And there's a long drive, and it's wide. Ridley will go back after it. And here's Ridley with it shooting. He scores! For a moment, it looked like it was going to be an icing call, but Ridley went after it, and that's it. It's all over for the Buffalo Sabres. The Capitals with a 6-3 lead. And most of the fans have left the building here at Memorial Auditorium. Oh, the Buffalo Sabres now will remain 3 points back of the Boston Bruins. And they'll have 1 game in hand over the Bruins. "11 seconds remaining. Here in this third period, the Capitals with a 3-goal lead. And Washington, after losing 8 in a row, have come back under new head coach Terry Murray with 2 wins in a row, and that's it. This game is over.